It's a good group of backs, all of them. They've all got different skill sets. They're unique in that regard, and they're all very talented. And but whichever one comes along is the one is who we're going to have to defend. But I can give you a long dissertation on each one, but we'll save that one for another day.
How does their offense change with Jacoby versus we start with Tyler? Tyler seems like more under center stuff. What other things have you?
They're obviously the zone read's not there, even though Jacoby is capable of keeping it and taking it. As I stand here, they're probably going to run one just to run one maybe, but no, he's Jacoby's still capable of doing everything that Kyler does. But for the most part, it's very close to the same.
The Rams had some success with 3 tight end formations. It's a copycat league. You're going to see it again, maybe this week from the Cardinals. What's difficult about matching up with that personnel grouping from a alignment, assignment, technique perspective?
If you have 3 tight ends who can, like in the Rams case, they've got 3 guys who are capable of both being effective in the run game and pass game. It becomes a personnel thing. You try to go small, they get big. You try to go big, they get small. They create 11 personnel formations, and you're just able to create more mismatches, from a personnel standpoint. I feel like the Rams, as they've gone throughout the year, 13 personnel hadn't been something they've done, and over the last 3 weeks, it's just getting bigger and bigger for them. I thought they did a really nice job with it.
What's the response been like this week from the defense in terms of practice and everything based on, what happened against the Rams? I mean, sure, it was a tough film to watch on Monday.
Yeah, no, it's like I said, it's a young group, and they're eager to learn. They want to fix mistakes. I thought practice today was outstanding. So they're in a good spot. It's obviously everyone has a bad taste in their mouth. Anytime you get 40 dropped on you, it's not fun. But we got a good group of guys. They've played really good football before, and we've had good games as a group. We've had bad games as a group, and we've just got to find that consistency as the year as we continue to go through the year.
This is sort of a Christian McCaffrey question, but you look around the league, there's a lot of guys, so running backs now who are 3-down backs who do so as much in the pass game. What is that challenge as a defensive coordinator trying to prepare? Because I assume you can throw as many resources into stopping the run, but that guy could still find a way to beat you. What is that like?
It is a challenge, especially if there's complements around them. You can only a guy like Christian, who is an unbelievable running back, but then he's also a really good receiver. So who do you dedicate to him? So a lot of times you're having to dedicate a linebacker to him. And I said it a long time ago that it's starting to catch up a little bit, but I felt like the evolution of the running back far outpaced the evolution of the linebacker, where a lot of linebackers were, up until I feel like 2019 in the 20s, the linebackers were still big, old school run thumpers, and here you had guys like Christian McCaffrey running around just creating mismatches. And so now you've got to get a linebacker that's capable, but then that's now how are you going to defend a run? So there's balance. They create all kinds of problems, and they're showing up more and more throughout the league.
Are you seeing those guys running more routes than just the old Texas and option routes and things like that?
You look at Christian; he's got the full repertoire of routes. Studied Jahmyr Gibbs, same thing. The really special ones, they can run them all.
The touchdown to Devontae last week. What's supposed to happen from your perspective defensively?
Caught us in goal line defense. Won't get into too specifics with the schematic part of it, but it's kind of shitty.
Farrell and Keon White and acclimating to Chris Kasarik and what you guys want.
I think he's doing a nice job. He definitely has something to him. Really excited about him and getting his feet underneath him in our system. We're asking him to do things that we feel like he can do, and I think he agrees with some of the things we're asking. But I think it's just a matter of him getting used to our calls, our words, our techniques, playing with your line games with your teammates and working off one another. So there's time on task there, but I think he's doing a really nice job.
Robert, it's always a challenge for the DBs when there's not a lot of rush. How do you keep these guys from fracturing, pointing the finger? Just how do you keep them together through the pressure kind of mounting a little bit?
I don't think that'll be an issue. the challenge is always for the D-line to get them in a hitch, and it's always the job of the back end to see if you can get an extra hitch from the quarterback. So we're rushing coverage. We play off one another. We feed off one another, and I'd be shocked if that ever happened here.
As far as the pass rush
Getting
goes,
closer and closer to a return now, but in previous weeks, were there times when he would help out the defense as a scout QB? And if so, what was it like having
Who are you referring to?
Brock Purdy?
Brock. It was fun having him out there. It's amazing, all these really good quarterbacks like Mac now, even when Brock, they're no-look passing and they're trying some stuff, which is what you're supposed to do as a scout team quarterback. And I'm like, can you guys chill on that? Because we got a young group. But it's great when you have those guys. I mean, even Adrian does a really nice job back there, from a mobility standpoint. But these quarterbacks are all, especially when they're veteran-like, they're working on their craft and they can get guys to run routes exactly the way we need them run. So they're very beneficial.
as far as the pass rush goes, given the injuries you've suffered so far this year, do you look at that as something you're going to have to scheme up for the most part this year?
Yeah, I think Kasarik does a really nice job working from a schematic standpoint. We always have our pressure system and trying to find a way to create free runners and all that, and trying to create edges where where we're leveraged the proper way. But at the end of the day, you got to win your one-on-one, and I do think we have guys who are capable. I think Huff is still one of the better ones in football. I think Sam's proven to be pretty damn good. I think Alfred getting back in there is going to help. Kalia's finally got that cast off him, so he can be more effective. So it's a work in progress because there's been a lot of moving parts, and there is continuity that comes into play with that group. But I'm not too worried. The main focus is for us to get better and better and better, so we're peaking when we hit January, and especially with this young group. And like I've told you guys, there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs. Last week was down, obviously, but hopefully we can get back on the horse.
Tatum Bethune told us yesterday that Fred Warner is giving them a little space to kind of learn on their own instead of being in there saying, okay, this is what you guys need to do. Where have you seen that learning curve on correcting their mistakes?
There's always going to be there's so much learning, and it's fun. I was talking to the staff about it, and I was recalling, like Wednesday with a young group is a little rougher than, because it's a new game plan, right? And I told Tatum yesterday, I said, if Fred tells you that his Wednesdays were awesome in his first couple of years, he's lying. It's just there is a learning curve there, but you trust because of how hard they work and how important it is to them. You trust that by Sunday they'll hit the ground running. And again, that's on me too. Just finding that balance of what they are. We're all learning one another, and I mean, I'm actually having a ton of fun doing it. There's frustrating moments for sure, but there's a lot of fun because coaches are learning players learning coaches, and we're all learning this thing together. And like I said, we're going to get better every single week. I'm confident in that, and the main goal is to continue getting better so that way, like I said, in January we're hitting the ground running and see if we can do something pretty cool.
Thank you, guys.
Cool. All right, guys, thank you.
All his practices aggressive.
I don't know what that means. He's had good practices. He just looks more confident, and that's been the goal. So if we can kind of get through these few days and him progressing, we hope it stays in that direction.
How does his arm strength and like lower body mechanics look compared to like the way it looked this summer?
I wouldn't say I noticed a difference. I mean, I think that's the goal, is that it needs to look the same. He needs to be just as confident as he was in training camp, as he was in week one. And I feel like if we saw something that concerned us, we wouldn't be going this direction. So I would say it looks the same to me.
Kyle said yesterday that he could kind of feel that Brock was back up to normal speed, did you also get that same sense that you could feel that he was just the way the ball was coming out?
Yeah, I think Brock looks good. I mean, I agree with that. I think he's had some good practices, and again, that's been our goal. Is to we don't want to put him back on the field unless we feel confident that he can be his normal self. So.
Did the rain complicate things today?
Initially, it was bad. It was coming down, but our guys, didn't really care and ended up kind of stopping there in the middle of practice. So we had a good day. Yeah.
About Ricky Pearsall, what have you seen from him this week?
Yeah, he looks good. He's been getting limited reps, just kind of easing him back in, but he's looked good. I think Ricky's his mind is he wants to play, but we got to get to this week kind of like Brock and just get through it healthy and just get him back into it. But we're happy with where he's at.
Is he a full go, or would you say he might be on a snap count this week?
We'll see. I think it's too early to tell from that regard. I think he's a guy who, when he's on the field, is going to want to stay in there if he can go. But we got to be careful with him. We got to be smart, and we'll see how it goes.
I was saying that Brian Robinson's had his best game 4 weeks in a row, basically. What have you seen from him in terms of just more comfort level with the offense, or the fact that maybe he got the ball 3 or 4 times in a row to gain some rhythm? What's gone into that?
I think both of those things. I mean, the more he's out there, the longer he's here, the more comfortable he gets with our scheme and kind of how we see things in the run game. He's been able to get into a rhythm, in my opinion. I look at the New York game and last game where he's able to kind of stay out there for a drive and just get multiple runs in a row and just kind of impose his will on people. And then I think, when you look at his confidence, the things he's done for us in the kicking game, he's contributed to our team in meaningful ways, and his confidence has grown, and he's, we just hope it stays in that direction. He's doing a good job.
Even that Brock Purdy looked ready before week 1, but ultimately wasn't. When you're watching him on the practice field this week and you think he looks ready, is that in the back of your mind that?
Yeah, it's a fair question, but no, not really. I think you learn from those instances. You kind of learn more about Brock. He learns more about himself and how his body reacts to things. I think any player is going to want to go. Any player is going to want to push through things, but then you learn through the experiences, okay, what can I really push through? What maybe was wrong then that needs to feel better this time around? So I think it's just a learning experience for everyone.
What did Seattle do in the run game last week to Arizona, and is there a way you guys can replicate what they did?
Yeah, I mean, they did a heck of a job. I think they had, I don't remember how many carries it was, but just, they got out to a big lead in that game and really early. I think it was like 35-0 in the second quarter. So they were able to commit to the run game really the whole second half of the game. They blocked them well. They had a good scheme. Their backs do a good job breaking tackles. I mean, they put together a nice game plan. So, yeah, there's things we look at in that game that we can hopefully try to take advantage of. But, we got to do what we do. We got to execute. We got to be better than we were last week and hopefully, have some good run game.
Christian's ability to be flexed or put in motion or basically whatever you want to do with him. Why is it problematic, it seems, or is it a problem that you don't get him and Robinson on the field at the same time?
Why is it problematic that we don't? What you're asking?
Or why don't you?
I mean, we've done it a little bit here and there, but we could. I mean, it's definitely something that we talk about and that we do have in. It's not like something we're opposed to at all. But it just hasn't. I think the way games have gone, we just haven't gone that direction. So, but it's definitely something we do talk about and we have in from week to week.
I think Kyle referred a little bit to. I'm not sure he even understood it all, but the use of a fullback, the use of extra tight ends, all that stuff kind of contributes to
Yeah, and some teams, it depends on how teams are playing you. Like some teams might treat that just as Christian as another receiver, and is that something you want? Is that how you want the defense to look at you? It just depends week to week, But when we put a fullback out there, we really kind of feel like we know what we're going to get from the defense. So some of that's part of it. There's different, it's just not something we do a lot. But if we started doing it more, you probably get a feel for how teams want to play you. But, it's just kind of something week to week we look at.
Is that a big factor in choosing personnel groupings, your ability to anticipate the coverage you're going to get when you use it?
It's part of it. I think defenses get better and better all the time about not letting you get a beat on that. I think that's what most good defenses do now in this league is you don't know what they're going to be in. And so, but you try to, especially as games go on, how are they playing us in these personnel groups? Are we getting a feel for what they're doing? You try to anticipate as best you can. I mean, that's how you game plan people. But like I said, that's the NFL and defensive coordinators are really good at saying, hey, we've done this before. We're going to change it up. We're not going to let them get a beat on us. So it's part of the challenge every week.
Does Arizona's defense look any different to you now that they've added Walter Nolan up front?
No, not schematically. They look better. I mean, he's a really dynamic interior player, but they look like the defense they've been all year, which in my opinion is a very good defense. They've had some really tough losses in terms of one possession games that they've been in throughout the year. This is a really good team, and they're going to play hard. They're physical, and it's just going to be a challenge. And he only adds to that because he's a really talented player, and so, yeah.
When you watched the film last week, what did you see from the offensive line? Maybe seeing some growth there?
Yeah, I mean, I thought in protection we did a good job. You know, I mean, we dropped back a lot, and I don't know if we had any sacks, maybe one sack. So we thought we held up pretty good in protection. I thought there were instances in the game where we were running the ball well, but just the way the game went, we weren't able to kind of commit to the run for 4 quarters. I thought the guys played well. There's things we got to clean up, like always, but I think that group is growing and cohering, and hopefully we get some consistency with the same guys out there week to week. So,
The Mac Jones era is over with the 49ers. How gratifying was it to watch him sort of put his career back together?
I don't look at it that way at all. You know, I mean, Mac's a member of our team. Right now he's our backup. You know, Mac's going to be ready when his number's called again. How gratifying was it that he played well? Very, because he deserved it and he earned it, and he had a great offseason. He's a great teammate, and when he gets his op again, he's going to be ready. So that's how I look at it. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
last couple of days gone for you? You're kind of ramping up a bit.
Yeah, I feel really good. Feel healthy and excited to be back and ready to go and lead the guys. So I'm really excited about this week. It's been a good week so far, and got a couple more days, obviously. Got to finish out strong this week, but feel really good.
Your expectation is you'll start on Sunday.
Yes. Yep.
How frustrating has this all been over the last several weeks?
Yeah, it's been frustrating. Obviously, like going into year 4, I wanted to come in and play my best ball so far in my career, and was really excited about it. We come in, play Seattle, and win on the road, and just feeling really good about the year. And then all of a sudden, like I'm just dealing with the toe thing, and it has been frustrating. Just the time missed, and seeing our team and an opportunity to go and win games, put a season together, man, and feel good about it. So it's just been frustrating for sure. But at the same time, this is just the cards that I've been dealt with, and I'm not trying to be woe is me kind of thing. We still have 7 games here to go and put something together, and our goals are right in front of us. So that's how I'm looking at it. I'm excited about it.
Playing against Jacksonville, was that a mistake?
No, that going into that week, I felt good. I really did, and I thought I was going to be good to go. I just unfortunately got caught in a bad position with my toe again, and just re-aggravated it. And so that's sort of just what happened. And looking back on it, man, like I'm a competitor. I want to go out and lead, and I felt good throughout the week to be able to go out and lead our guys to win and play good quarterback. And it's just unfortunate I got caught in that position. So
The second injury took longer to recover than the first injury.
I mean, honestly, I don't really know. Obviously, I re-aggravated it, and so for me, all the decisions that we made were, how do I feel week by week, and we went from there. Going into the Jacksonville game, I felt good after 2 weeks of rest, and then boom, I get caught in an awkward position, and then this time after, it's just been take it 1 week at a time, 1 day at a time. How do you feel? Can you go this week? No. Can you go next week? We'll see when we get there, and that's just how it's been. And so here we are after 6 games. I feel really good now. So that's just the decisions that we've made and the plan that we've had.
Play with the steel plate in the toe of
No.
your cleat. Okay.
I will
Is
not.
it more about when you're running, Brock, or your follow through? Like, where have you felt it over the last few weeks on where it might be tender?
Just more so movement, running and scrambling and all those kind of things. Dropping back and throwing, it's been pretty good for a while, but to play quarterback in the NFL, things happen, and to be myself and play like myself, I have to move a little bit, and I just wasn't able to get there, for a while, and so, but now I feel really good, and I feel ready to go. So,
In the one of the games early, it seemed like you were every break in the action you were warming up, throwing a lot of throws. Is that your normal routine, or is that where you're trying to stay looser, or was there something going on there?
what game you talking about?
Well, probably not the Jackson. Probably, and you played 2 games. I guess maybe the Jacksonville game. In the second half, it seemed like every time there was a break in the action, you were just playing catch and trying to stay warm. Was that related in any way to the toe?
No, I've done that my whole career. Like anytime there's a TV timeout, or even we're on the field and an injury or something, I usually go to the sideline and throw. So I've done that my whole career.
Brock, was there any point during this where surgery was brought to you as an option or something that you had to consider?
No. I had a turf toe variation, if that's what you want to call it, but from multiple sources and doctors and everything, we looked at it and they said there's no need for surgery. So.
We know you guys you're competitive. You're also teammates. When the guy who's replacing you is out there doing as well as he did, and you can hear all the chatter that's going on, is there a side of you that says, "Man, I need to get back here earlier"? Or what's going on in your head when all that's happening?
I mean, absolutely love Mac and what he's done, and he came in and played extremely well, man, and kept our team alive and moving and going, and so I appreciate him for that and just everything he's brought to our team. But for me, it's been, how do I feel physically? It has nothing to do with I need to get back out there for the political side of things. It's been all about how do I feel really good to go out and lead when I do get back. And so obviously it took 6 games, sadly, on the second side of things after re-aggravating it. But I want to be smart about this with my career and everything, and but at the same time, I'm ready to roll, and we got 7 games ahead of us that I'm really excited about. So,
How has this week felt? I mean, getting back into the timing with guys like Christian and George, you play with George since week 1?
Yeah, I mean, it's been good. Obviously, I've been in every meeting, all the practices, just watching and making sure I'm in the lingo and, just the playbook as a whole and game planning and not getting out of it in that regard. I mean, it's tough if you do that as a quarterback. So I've just been watching their movements and stuff the last really 6 weeks, 8 weeks, the whole season. And so, going back and practicing with them, this week especially, it's been really good. And just feel like we've all picked up where we left off. And Kyle does a good job with coaching the quarterbacks, throwing on time, and having a rhythm within the offense. So for me to just come back in and do my thing and them do their thing, it's been pretty easy.
As mentioned, toe probably won't fully heal this season. How do you navigate that risk for the remainder of the regular season, even potentially playoffs, now that you're returning?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in a really good spot. Best that I felt this year, since hurting it. And when you play the sport, that's just the case. The guys are going to play a little banged up or dealing with certain things. And a lot of times you don't even hear what guys are dealing with, but they're just, going about their business and playing and doing what it takes. And, it's just obviously this, took me out of the game, so everyone knew about it. But guys are always dealing with things. And but that's just the nature of the sport. I take a chance stepping out there every time to hurt my other toe. That's how I'm looking at it. So I'm going to do whatever it takes to help lead this team. Like I said, 7 more games this year and make a playoff run and try to go achieve our goal. So it's right in front of us.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Brock.